Peace, Black Power. The chairman Ramsey Shabazz of the Nat Turner Vanguards. I'm here to speak on the subject of essence of the black woman. And I'm going to have 3 questions in which to where I'm going to give 3 answers to. And within them 3 answers, I'm going to break down the essence of the black woman. But I'm going to start off by first breaking down the title. The definition of essence is the intrinsic nature or quality of something. Meaning, it's something you can feel without seeing or touching. It's something that vibrates your very soul. It's something that you can't help but feel, but something you can't see or feel. The essence of something is the aura of it. But of the black woman, black being the essence of every color, black being the sole beginning of everything. As the Bible speaks, first there was darkness, then came light. So therefore, the essence of black is the essence of the beginning. And woman, being one man, being one of a man, or one apart from a side of a man, or one with man, as God is one with God. As man is one with God. So the whole breakdown of this title, Essence of the Black Woman, is to be looked upon as the essence of the black race, as the essence of black, period. So my first question is, who is the black woman to the whole universe, the entire universe? She is the mother of the human life, the first teacher, the Holy Spirit of the Holy Trinity. How is she the mother of human life? And I don't say that lightly, human life. Human life consists of a human, and a human consists of person with hue, a person of color, or a person of melanated color, or melanation. She's the mother of civilization as we know it. She's the mother of being a teacher. She's the mother of being the mother. She's the mother of being the God of the family and here on earth. According to the scriptures, Mary being the mother of Jesus, so henceforth she's the mother of the Son of God, being in the person of Jesus Christ. So we got to realize that her being the mother in human life makes her the mother of everyone, or every black person on earth, or every melanated person on earth. Her being the first teacher, not even before the child is conceived, she's the teacher while the baby's still in the womb. She's still the teacher even when the baby's away from the home. She's still a teacher even when the baby not listening. We all know that we first love our mother first and foremost. It's no one that we love first other than our mother, other than if we under certain circumstances. But we being provided that we are took home with our mother and loved from our mother, and even just being held from our mother, is that bond that's unconditional, that's a given, something that's internal within mother and child, a bond that's something like an essence that's not seen or felt to be held, but to feel and feel the vibrations of this woman and child's love. Love itself is something unseen. So realize that this woman, this black woman, She taught this child. This child teaches his children. His children teaches his children. So as we go further and further and further and further in years and years and years, you got a whole generation that this one woman done taught. You got a whole nation that this one woman done taught. So you got to realize, black women, that you are the first teacher. You are the mother of human life. You are the Holy Spirit. And when I say that, I mean you are the doer, the tool. You are the one that does the handling, so to speak, in the house. Besides your husband, your man, your king, your God, which is the Father, the one who teaches you, the one who leads you, who protects you in the time of destitute and trials and tribulations. Your man, which is the Father, and your child being the Son, the one that illuminates from your very being, from your very soul, from your very spirit as the woman God of that child. You are that Holy Spirit. You're the one that teaches that child to be the one, the man or the woman she or he needs to be. First and foremost, the man is here to protect, to provide, and to teach. You to protect and to provide for the child. So black woman, you are also the Holy Spirit, along with the mother of human life, along with being the first teacher. You are everything to the universe. You are the universe itself. The universe comes from you, the earth, the moon, the sun. You birthed us. You are the wisdom that gives the understanding to the knowledge. You are the wisdom that comes in the day of trials and tribulations. When a man is down, when he comes to your bosom, he comes on one knee or both knees, because he knows you are the wisdom. You are that mother. You are the Holy Spirit that he seeks to make his spirit right. So he comes to you on his bent knees, the soul submissiveness, the soul that you are the God or goddess. So you got to realize, black woman, who you are to the universe. You are everything to the universe. Without you, there will be no universe. It wouldn't be another people to say, I came from them. It wouldn't be another people to say who I came from if it wasn't from you. You got to realize, black woman, that being the mother of civilization and human life and the first teacher, that's a big responsibility to have. You got to realize that this responsibility allows you to have a lot of authority within your own king/God's life and even your child's life. Well, especially your child's life. You got to realize that this authority you have as being the first teacher is a gift that God gave you to be the goddess you are today or should be today. You are in position to play out this role because he gave you the instruments, mentally and physically, to be the Holy Spirit, to be the teacher and be the mother of everyone. So realize, black woman, that you are the essence of everything. You are the essence of the universe, which is black. The universe represents who you are, and you represent who the universe is today, which is a black mass that holds up, well, not even a mass, but a black infinite space of infinite wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in which man can't comprehend. And men, we know for a fact that women are hard to comprehend, or to better yet say, understand completely. Because they are like the universe, complex and wide open and beautiful at the same time. So black women realize that you are the universe, that you birth everyone, everything, and without you, we would not be here. The second question, what the black woman endures on earth. Now I want to speak about what the black woman goes through on earth. Now I spoke about what the woman is to the earth, or to the universe, or within the universe, but I want to speak about what the poor black woman, or the woman of essence, goes through. First, I'm going to speak about the birth control. Black women, you are the birth control. You don't need anything outside yourself controlling your bodily functions. If you don't need to have a baby, or you don't want to have a baby or a child or whatnot, then there are ways to not have children. And a simple way is doing that is not having sex. You don't have sex, and you don't have outside of marriage sex, then you won't have any reason to be on birth control. You won't have any reason to want to go into abortion clinics and to commit some type of murder against something you don't fully understand. Because if you fully understood this, now I know I get a lot of backlash, but if you don't fully understand what's growing inside you, then of course you would kill it with no conscience. So you gotta understand, when you do lay down, it's before that embryo is within your stomach. It's before that. It's before you even lay down with this man. It's when you decide to entertain a man. When you decide to entertain another man, then you decide to expose your womanhood. When you decide to entertain a man as far as trying to get to know him as far as into a relationship, then you got to realize that you are a woman that's unprotected. Though you have a father, but you still are a woman that's unprotected. You can be exploited. You can be manipulated. You can be raped. You can be done any type of way because you are a woman. Now, I will say this. You have wolves out there that's in sheep's clothing. And women, which I will break down in my next question, women, just as the serpent shows you in Genesis, you are easy to be led astray. Women, especially of today, you look outside yourselves for beauty. You look outside the black man for beauty. You look outside the black child for beauty. You look to your very enemy that gives you what would kill you. You look to him for protection. You look to him for self-confidence. You look to him for self-love and self-esteem. But you don't look to yourself first and foremost. If you look to yourself, then you will see that curly hair that the universe taught you about. By that black hole being that spiral, the strongest thing in the universe is a black hole. And when it sucks things in, it sucks in a spiral light. It goes in a spiral light way, representing the non-ether hair, or representing the 999, or better yet, as we know, the 666, representing the melanated people across the planet. So black women, don't be easily manipulated into thinking that your hair is imperfect, that your hair is not beautiful, that your hair is not loved. I'd rather have a few women love me than all the women. I'd rather my daughter to have one man that loves her more than anything, to have a lot of men loving her just for who she is. I want to explain to you, black women, that true unconditional love is not outside yourself. It's within. It starts within you. Then it grows out and becomes that essence that you so possess. The essence that no one else on earth can possess except you, black women. And that essence is the essence of being the originator, the birth canal, the birth canal giver, so to speak, to the people. You are the wisdom that we seek each and every day, because you are the beginning and you are the ending. Just as black man is the beginning and the black man is the ending. So we got to realize that if you're looking within self, black women, then you will see the true black man that you truly need in your life. You will see that you will have a true understanding of a true black child that you will have with this king, this God, with this man that's full of knowledge. Then you will have this full understanding, manifestation of self, manifestation of love, and manifestation of who you are as a goddess, a black woman here on earth. Now, black women, true unconditional love is something that's born within you. It's something you can't get rid of. It's something that you express in each and every way, all the way from slavery days. You showed sympathy to slave masters, to the cracker babies, to the slave masters' wives. You showed sympathy for everyone. Then let alone you had to show sympathy to your own family first and foremost. So you had a lot to bear. You had a lot to be carrying on your shoulders. So black women, this is only in representation and just show you how strong that you truly really are. Black women, it's no other woman on earth could have went through what you went through or going through right now. It's no other woman on earth that expresses love like you do. But it's no other woman on earth that's going through what you're going through. Now, black women, you got to look outside yourself and think, what is the person on the outside giving me on the inside? Can you truly be happy with straight weave in your hair? Can you truly be happy with makeup that hides your inner beauty or your inner outer beauty? Can you truly be happy with yourself if you're trying to change what God gave you? Can you truly be happy if you're trying to put on another person in which influences our children, your sons and daughters? So you creating a generational effect. You want your daughter's daughter, and daughter's daughters to dress this way? Do you really? Do you want them to think that because they have hair that they'll never grow out their head, or have makeup that's unnecessarily put on, do you think that we as a people need that, or you as a woman needs that? No. I think, black woman, you need to look in self and realize that the natural you is where the true love, unconditional love, is lying at. Unconditional love is within self. It's in self, because if it wasn't, then the people that's on the outside, they would have been expressing it to you way long before now. You know, so black woman, realize that love you so seeking and everybody else on the outside, it's within you. But first you gotta kill the nigga in your head. First you gotta get rid of all that stuff that ain't you. Get rid of the weed, the makeup, the stuff that ain't you. Start from you, then progress to whatever you wanna add on to you. But I'm pretty sure once you get to know yourself, you gonna know that you don't need too much more to add on to you. Now, knowledge itself is everything. That's true beauty. My third question: who hates the black woman? Now, I'm gonna go in this book right quick, right? And I'm gonna go to Genesis, start with Genesis, the 3rd chapter. It's speaking about the serpent and Eve. We got to realize now, you know, the Bible speaks in parables and similes and speaks in metaphors and ways you got to really rethink about it and understand, and which is good in my opinion. And this book seems like, to me, a good book to look to when you need to know what to do sometimes in a time of this world we in now. This book helps us understand what our destiny is to be. This book is a good book to actually read and understand, so we can wake up just a little bit more. Or if you're not awake, then I think this book is just a starting point for some, but it's just the ending for others. And the why I say that, the ending, is because some people are not meant to be enlightened. Some people are meant to be blind, deaf, and dumb. Some people are meant to be just here for a while, you know. So that's why it's so much an important thing to know your role as a black man and woman. It's so important to know what you need to know in order so you can be who you need to be here in life. So as I was saying, the Bible speaks in parables and metaphors. So a serpent is a sly motherfucker, you know. The serpent is something that's devious. He lies and tricks and slithers and slides and whatnot. So, you know, he's a slick motherfucker, so to speak. Now the serpent, chapter 3 of Genesis, was the most cautious of all the wild animals of the field that Jehovah God made. So it said to the woman, did God really say that you must not eat from every tree of the garden? At this, the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but God has said about the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, you must not eat from. No, you must not touch it, otherwise you will die. At this, the serpent said to the woman, you certainly will not die, for God knows that in that very day you eat from it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and bad. So, he basically broke it down to her. Look, man, you eat this fruit, it's going to be like God. She was tempted. Not only tempted, she was misled, she was deceived, but most importantly, she was weak. And the serpent knew this. The serpent knew that the woman is an emotional being, that the woman is the most loving, kind woman or creature on earth. So he exploited this and manipulated this. He seen no protection of the man. He seen no self-confidence in that woman. He seen the manipulation he could portray on that woman. So he slithered and slid and slid on in. He convinced her to eat of this fruit, and this fruit being of good and bad. And this fruit opened Eve's eyes up to good and bad. So she was shameful of her nakedness. Her and Adam. And women, especially black women, please remember, you are the most beautiful women on earth. So when you come at us men, we become submissive, weak beings sometimes. So being that is so, Adam was being weak, being a man, so to speak, in his lustful ways, allowing his mate, allowing Eve to tempt him and to mislead him, being the teacher, woman, being the teacher, mislead him into what was forsaken by God. So women, realize, black women, realize that you are always going to be persecuted, always going to be the one to be looked upon as the weak link, all because of this one story. And not all just because of this one story though, but it shows true today that black women, you allow yourself to become less than where you are. You allow yourself to be the women you are today. You allow that enemy to seek in your head and have you thinking outside yourself when you was the first beautiful creature on earth. So black women, do not be deceived by that serpent. Black women, don't be deceived by what's going on in the world. Black women, don't be deceived by a source or a spirit outside yourself, because you are that Holy Spirit which gives instruction to everyone else. So please, black women, realize that you are targeted, you are hated, you are persecuted each and every day in each and every way, just because you are viewed as the weak link in the black family. Okay, the same serpent remained in the Bible, throughout the Bible. That same serpent grew up into a dragon, a 10-headed dragon. And in Revelations, what it speaks about this 10-headed dragon, it speaks about this 10-headed dragon going to war with this child. But before that child was born, it was within this woman who had a halo of light, illuminated light around her head. She was the mother of the Son of God. She is the mother of the Son of God. Excuse me. And who is the mother of the Son of God? First, you got to realize who the Son of God is. And before that, you got to realize who the Son of God is and what they is, and what God is, and what the Son is, you know. So to sum that all up, you know, the Son of God is the black man. The black man, being the Son of God, is the black woman's child. And the black woman's child being the one who's been who's been waited upon by the dragon, is the Son of God, which is the black man. But I'm going to read chapter 12 of Revelation. Then a great sign was seen in heaven. A woman was arrayed with the sun, and the moon was beneath her feet, and on her head was a crown of 12 stars, and she was pregnant. She was crying out in her pains and in her agony to give birth. Another sign was seen in heaven. Look, a great fiery colored dragon, that same serpent I was speaking about, with 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his head 7 diadems, and his tail drags a third of the stars of the heaven, and it hurled them down to the earth. And the dragon kept standing before the woman who was about to give birth, so that when she did give birth, it might devour her child. Now, it's speaking about this woman. She has a crown of 12 stars. And beneath her feet, she had the moon. But she was arrayed in the sun, with the sun, meaning she was illuminated. Meaning beneath her feet, being that the moon is from the earth, scientific wise, being that the earth represents Mother Nature, being that Mother Nature represents and is the black woman, you gotta realize the moon beneath this woman's feet is a part of herself, her foundation. So you got to have a foundation of self, is what this meaning. You got to have a foundation of yourself, being that you are the goddess, the sole contributor to life itself. You got to realize that this head that had a crown of 12 stars represented the 12 tribes of a chosen people of God. And them 12 tribes and them stars representing the children of the chosen people is the 12 tribes of God, of Israel. So people, realize that this woman that's being waited upon by this dragon is finna give birth. Now, you know when you're pregnant, you do any and everything to protect your child. You do any and everything to love your child, to make sure your child is fed and clothed and healthy and happy. So just imagine that what this woman is going through, that this, even before a child is born, this dragon is waiting on her to have this child so he can go ahead and eat him up. So imagine how you women are today. Align yourself up with the women of today. Before you even give birth, your child is a statistic. Before you even give birth, your child gonna have some type of number, whether it be a social security number, whether it be a driver license number, whether it be a prison cell number. Your child is gonna be given some type of number to be tracked and to be manipulated and exploited as you was or is today. So just imagine how she felt and how you black women should feel, knowing that before your child is born, your child has no chance. Or before your child is born, your child has trials and tribulations to go through just waiting on them. Okay. Now have come to pass the salvation and power of the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Christ, because the accuser of our brothers has been hurled down, who accuses them day and night before our God. And they conquer him because of the blood of the Lamb and because of the word of the witnessing, and they did not love their souls even in the face of death. On this account be glad, you heavens, and you who reside in them. Woe for the earth and for the sea, because the devil has come down to you, having great anger, knowing that he has a short period of time. Now when the dragon saw that it has been hurled down to the earth, it persecuted the woman who gave birth to the male child. But the two wings of the great eagle were given to the woman, so that she might fly into the wilderness to her place, and where she is to be fed for a time and times and half a time, away from the face of the serpent. And the serpent spewed out water before a river, like a river, from the mouth of it after the woman, to cause her to be drowned by the river. But the earth came to the woman's help. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed up the river that the dragon spewed out from its mouth. So the dragon became enraged at the woman and went off to wage war with the remaining ones of her offspring, who observe the commandments of God and who have worked and bearing a witness concerning Jesus. So, that really explains how this big dragon, old dragon, went to war with this woman and her offspring. Now, let me tell you who this dragon is. This dragon is the black people enemy. It's anybody. It can even be other black people. But it's who our enemy is. That dragon is a consistency and a compound of everyone that's against the black race. If we're not for self-preservation, then we're not going to be for self-love. And if we're not for self-love, then we're going to be continually on in a struggle, trials and tribulations, and battles that we endure now as a black people today. So realize that this dragon is not only the government, but certain individuals that is targeted incorrectly. I mean, in tune. I'm sorry. This only for the people that's against the black people, as far as not allowing us to be unified and not allowing us to be who we are naturally. So of course I speak about white people as it's a natural thing. But for the quote unquote good white people, they don't atone for the plight that my people went through in dealing with the white race. Now, any other race, you have your own battles. I feel like we, as a black people, we need to start at home. And starting at home is starting with self. And starting with self is starting with self-love, you know. So this dragon, you gotta realize who your enemy is. Realize who's trying to take us out as a people, you know. Realize who coming into our neighborhoods and exploiting us. And realize who putting the shit on the TV to manipulate us. Realize who taking the men out the homes and leaving no protection for you black women. Realize who promoting birth control and abortion clinics. Realize who don't have unconditional love for you. And I mean that on individual terms. So black women, realize who that dragon is in your life. So you can realize who you is as a woman that's having that child. Because each and every child a black woman has, that's a soldier for God. That's a warrior for God. That's a God that is being birthed into this world. So you got to realize your role as a black woman and your role as this woman who's got the life of humanity within her stomach. You got the life of our very salvation as a black race in your stomach. So black women, realize who you are. And realize that people, especially crackers, they're gonna always persecute you. They're gonna always tell you that you could be just a little different, or you could look a little better, or you could be just a little smarter. They can't tell you nothing because you was here first. It's nothing, or rather no one that can tell you, black women, how things are, what things should be, and how things should be. Black women, as soon as you know who you are as a black woman, then you can teach the world who we need to be for you, to you, and by you. So black women, I love you. I need you. We need you. You know, I'm gonna take one more verse from the Bible. It's from Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 30 and 31. You know, it says, "Charm may be false, and beauty may be fleeting, but the woman who fears Jehovah will be praised. Give her the reward for what she does, and let her works praise her in the city gates." Black woman, start with self. Then you ain't got to worry about some nigga coming up telling you how good you look. You already know it. Only thing he can do is enhance your confidence. Black woman, realize your beauty ain't on the outside. It's in your ability to be the sole creator of a whole race, of a whole human fucking being species. You know, black woman, your beauty shouldn't be limited by how a man can talk to you. Your beauty shouldn't be limited by how a white man can tell you how to dress, or how a white man put it in the media or in the entertainment business for you to be looking like a fucking drag queen or something. Black women, our people don't need anything to enhance what God gave us. He made us